so weird because it's been open for 17 minutes and I've been sitting here and
I've been
obviously,
doing smoke signals to you all the way up to Queensland.
yeah, you must be because I had my other page open trying to sort stuff out, which is why I asked for this emergency appointment.
Okay, we're here now. How are you? Why are we sorting things out?
So I'm really hoping that you and Ashan are going to be able to help me.
Let's hope so.
Um,
What's happening?
Everything is going so good, Nicole. I'm in a really good place. I'm feeling good. Made a number of...
I like the start. I'm feeling a butt coming. I'm just like,
Yeah, so everything's been going good since we spoke. I've made the decision that since I'm going to be alive for, let's face it, maybe 40 or 50 years left, that I need to be happy with myself. And to do so, I've decided to have the tattoo on my arm removed.
what?
Yeah, I've booked it all in. We're going to Brisbane on Saturday. Train tickets are booked. The tickets are booked.
Can we do a cover up or are we going to remove it?
We're removing the whole lot of it. So I've spoken to numerous people.
I thought you really liked it.
No, I really hate it.
Now, but
I hate it.
when you first got it. Is it just the color?
It's the whole thing. It's the fact that it is nothing like how it was originally meant to be. The original tattoo I wanted was this big. Yeah? No shit, this big. The quote that I have on my arm, right? The big one, everything happens for the sake of your higher self. Yeah. Now, that is my version of everything happens for a reason, right? And the quote matters in a big way, right? So this whole thing started because I have a whiteboard and it was in my home in Melbourne and I'd write things to myself, yeah? And years ago, I wrote on the whiteboard, everything happens for the sake of your higher self. So anytime something that I perceived as going wrong, I would go to the whiteboard and I'd look at it and it would remind me and it would ground me and center me, yeah? So my thoughts were, I'm not always near my whiteboard, right? And you know how I feel about quotes. Like the quote on this arm is my favorite tattoo. I love it, right? I have spent the last couple of years trying to convince myself that I like it when I don't.
Okay.
And I should never have gone with it, but it is just a major, expensive life lesson that, believe you me, I'm learning, yeah? It's going to cost multiple thousands, right?
You get a tattoo removed.
Okay, huh?
It's more than one treatment to get it off, yeah?
12 minimum, more. So the way it works is that they offer two ways to go about it, right? Your facial expressions, similar to what I reckon Merv's was like, yeah, because people just keep telling me to add to the tattoo and get the tattoo fixed. And I'm just at the point where it's like, that's what I did the first time in adding the butterflies to the quote, because the quote was fucked. And I'm like, no more ink. I'm done.
How is the quote not weird? Why? It's right.
The quote is there, right?
Yeah.
So it's in big black letters. So the original quote was just put on like that, right?
Yeah, I remember.
Now, I wanted exactly the same quote written that way at about that big, right? And when I went into the tattooist, he was a friend of mine, and he convinced me.
That's just not how you want it to be.
Well, he convinced me to make it so that they were similar sizes. See, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, this particular place. So we drove to Rockhampton to go and check out a place, which on their website was like they can do everything, and it turns out they can't, because I went to one where we live. I went to another one in Rockhampton. Immediately they were like, we don't have the machines to do the colours. So I've been going back and forth with this particular company in Brisbane, and how tattoo removal works when it comes to this, right? Basically, they've given me an estimate cost per session based on all the photos I've sent through. They said once you're in the clinic, because obviously I can't get a quote because I can't go in there, right? And I asked them to do...
Your place is too little to have their own tattoo removal, right?
I have to go to Brisbane for this place is what I'm saying.
It's like an airplane ride away.
No, it's a train ride away. Yeah, so... Anyway, so the way that they work it out is that you get the per session price, and then you can choose whether or not you go session by session as you pay for it. And you can buy 6 sessions at once and get 20% off, right? However, the other way to go about it, and this is the way that I'm going about it, is once you get in there and that they measure it exactly, they then give you the exact rate, and then they will do an estimate of what they think will take as long as it takes, and then I pay a one lump fee for it, and it includes unlimited treatments until it's gone, guaranteed.
Okay.
So everyone I have spoken to, and just working the math out myself based on, like, I've worked the math out using a lot of leeway, so more than what they've quoted. And it's a lot. Don't get me wrong, right? It's probably going to cost around $4,000, I reckon, to get it removed. And I was thinking about it, and like I said, I've spent however many years since I got it doing my head in, trying to convince myself that I like it, and I don't. And it really just hit me not long ago. Might have been right before I spoke to you last, because I know it wasn't long ago that I spoke to you, that I've had these really profound, deep, sort of intuitive things coming through to me, and I'm feeling super connected to the other side of the universe, which is not helpful when the world's in disarray and I just feel like I'm feeling the world's sadness, because believe you me, that shit happens, yeah? But none of this is the reason why I needed an emergency appointment.
Oh, okay. Well, good luck with the tattoo removal. I'm very sorry.
I wanted to let you know. I'm not telling anyone in my real life. Obviously, I'm talking about it on my camera because I'm going to...
I'm part of your real life, just an FYI.
Huh?
I am part of your real life. I am real.
Yes, you are. Okay, you know what I mean. Besides,
we're real people.
Besides you and Merv, I guess. Not that if anyone I know sees my videos and asks me, it's not a secret. It's just I want it done. So every 6 weeks, we'll be travelling to Brisbane for the day.
Nice. Is it far? Is it doable in a day?
Oh God, no! We have to go back, and I'll be going down around 12 to 20 times.
No, I mean, like, how far is it, Liv?
What do you mean? We're going to Brisbane.
How far is Brisbane away?
5.5 hours. We're leaving at 1:17 in the morning on Saturday, and we arrive into the Brisbane train station at 9 a.m. on Saturday. I love your like facial expressions. So yeah, we arrive at 9. My appointment's at...
A red eye. No one does that. There's like a reason why no one does that.
Yeah, because we have this...
That's why no one does it, because it's shit.
Well, we have concessions, though in all saying this, I got a little bit confused after talking to the train people, right? So we're concession people, right? And we get 4 concession rates of $25.
Anywhere.
Yeah. So, but it's each direction. So we've both used two already just for this one coming on Saturday, yeah? So we'll have one more that we can go down following another 6 weeks. And then the train tickets change after that. So we get them for half the rate of a standard fare, which is still expensive, but like I said, I have literally, like, I've known you since before I got the damn tattoo, like, and it's the yellow one in the middle, Nicole. It killed me. Like, the only thing that gets me more than anything ever is the fact that I was so afraid and insecure and not strong enough to say something. Because when I went in for the first one, the first thing I said to him was, do not do any more of these giant black edges because you've completely detracted from what it is that I want. And so the very next thing he did was a giant fucking line straight after. And I was studying, trusting him, because we'd literally just had that conversation. I looked over and I was in shock. And I was at the point where it was too far gone, I guess. Like, I regret so much of this shit, but all I know is that every single fucking time I see it, when I'm in a room where it's the only time it looks good is in fluorescent lights, yeah?
Well, you know, I wouldn't say, I mean, I wouldn't say it's bad. Like, a lot of people really like it.
Yeah, more people like it than I do, for sure. People are telling me they like it.
And
No, I
it's
can't.
about what you want and what you need, and that's okay.
I get that it's a lot of money, but I truly am looking at it like,
Life is not about money. Like, at the end of the day, you are quite good with money. You always keep up to date with your stuff. You're very fiscally responsible. At the end of the day, yes, you can save money and you can choose to spend money on other things.
I'll
But why
still
is
have
it
the same amount in
not
saving.
appropriate to spend money on something that you feel like has negatively affected you and negatively affected your view of yourself and the message that you're trying to get across? Why would that not be worth paying for?
That's exactly where I'm at. It needs to happen because every other person I talk to, the only thing they keep coming up with is add more ink. And that's where I went wrong many, many fucking times, yeah?
I don't think everybody else can have an opinion, Olivia, but at the end of the day, it's what you want and what you feel like you want for your future. Like you said, you're going to be on this planet for a really long time, ideally. And so why would it not be okay to invest in yourself? Like, this is, you often talk about being a storyteller. You talk about literally wearing your story on your sleeves. And at the end of the day, tell your story genuinely and appropriately for you. Otherwise, I don't think you're never going to be comfortable with it. You're never going to be comfortable with yourself. And can you accept yourself with imperfections? Absolutely. You have lots of times before. But this isn't about accepting you. This is about accepting, like, a piece of art. And if I don't like a piece of art, it doesn't go on the wall.
Exactly.
I might think I like the art and get the art and then think, oh, I don't really like this art anymore. And it's easier to get rid of a painting than a tattoo, but it's still possible to get rid of a tattoo if you so choose to.
And this
You're
particular...
allowed to invest in yourself however you like.
I can't look in the mirror and see it without seeing something that I just hate. And it's taken me, honestly...
Your artist know? Does your artist know?
Oh, he knows exactly how I feel. I sent message after
Are you
message.
still friends?
Fuck no.
Because of that?
The person who did the original quote is a different person who did the butterflies. And no, well, they're all in Melbourne for starters. But yeah, no, I let the guy who did the butterflies...
Melbourne doesn't mean that you can't be friends.
No, shit happened, but no. But yeah, no, the actual dude that did the butterflies, I let him know how I felt. But I never got any money back or anything like that, but what do you do? But like I said, it hit me. I've made the decision. I went to a tattoo laser person in our local town, and she was like, the machines that can get rid of yellows and greens and blues, she's like, you can't get those machines for under 250 grand. And she's like,
It's what? Green, yellow, and
so when there's,
what is one? Oh, green, yellow, and
yeah, the one in the middle was green and yellow, not
green and
even,
yellow, blue, and purple. Now.
yeah, so apparently you need a bunch of different types of laser machines depending on the color, right? And I've discussed it with them while making the appointments. I've worked out the math every which way I can over budget. And
Okay.
this is
When are you leaving?
Saturday.
Love that. Good job.
So yeah,
Don't question yourself, Olivia. You've made a decision.
oh, I'm not now. I want it gone, 100%.
What's your? This sounds like you've made a good decision for you, and that you feel really confident and resonate with it. What's the emergency? Are you okay?
No, I'm not, and I need you, and I need Ashan's help, and I will be sending an email through to all three of you pretty much as soon as I get off this call. So can you hear that noise in the background? No, it's okay. Neighbors are doing something. Bear with me because I can hear it and it's driving me crazy. I'm sorry, hon.
Okay.
I'm still here. Don't go away.
I'm not.
Oh, you're like my favorite person when it comes to this.
Your door was open.
Oh, the door to the front yard was open, so the neighbors I can hear shit.
Dude, it's so warm and great up there, jerk.
I'm wearing shorts and a t-shirt, darling, with jandals, so yeah, it's warm.
It's currently sunny. I'd like to point it out.
It is sunny. You know what I find really funny the last couple of days? I've gotten up and I've said to Merv, why does it feel like someone's got the heaters on? Like, is the heater on that we're aware of? And then it hit me. It's humidity. It is like this, it's the heat's been turned up, but it's not warm, it's just sweaty. Very yuck. Anyway, yesterday I sent Elean a message saying, I've made an appointment to see you on the 14th of July. I tried to make, because it's all through line, yeah? I said I tried to make the appointment to get scripts filled. I tried to make a phone appointment and I couldn't. I said, so in the end, I've made a regular appointment for the 14th. And then I text her, right? And I was like, hey, Nicole, hey, Elean, this is what I've tried to do, but I've only been able to book this one. Can you change it to a phone appointment? Because I need scripts filled. And so I listed the scripts I need because I genuinely am out of scripts.
Yeah.
And I need to have them filled because you know that I fill my monthly boxes and I'm on to the last one. And there are a number that I actually need because I'm out of repeats, yeah? And so I listed them all. And I was like, if you could please send them to me in between, because I desperately need to get the scripts filled, because I hate to admit this, and I said it to her because I know how fucking dangerous more than anything it probably is, but I ran out of heart medication, and I haven't taken it in weeks.
Okay, it's time to get some scripts.
Yeah, so again, I messaged through all the scripts that I need, right? And my pain has been, I don't know what's going on with it, Nicole. I don't know if it's because I've lived here for so long and I have this feeling of failure and self-hatred that just keeps snowballing, because we're finally having our first inspection on Thursday and the house is in disarray. Now, thankfully, our house inspections are, from what I can tell, according to all of my friends who have house inspections, Ours are very different because of the simple fact, like, you know how there's usually like a list of shit that people have to follow for rental inspections? Yeah, ours doesn't include any of that because of the fact that the house was sold to an owner as is. I didn't quite get my head around that for a while, but basically the simple fact that the house was sold as is means that the things that most people would be like scrubbing grout and this and everything else, obviously we keep it clean. But anyway, they are coming through on Thursday morning to take, believe it or not, the first set of photos. No photos have been taken, right? So we need to get the house exactly as we need it, with all the artwork up and everything done. And even though I feel like we're working around the fucking clock, it's just trying to like move one mess to another one and trying to sort things out, and it's driving me insane, causing me to feel more failure. My dog, adorable as she is, doesn't like to listen unless there's food involved, and I feel like I'm failing on that part. And now Elaine, I would read you the messages. I will screenshot the messages and I will email them to you, okay? Because I wrote this big ass message, and I wrote, if you don't feel comfortable prescribing me the Tajan, which I desperately need, I said, can you please just script me the daily medication I need, because I literally got to go to the pharmacist tomorrow and get scripts filled, and then call me on the appointment I've made. And the message I got back, Nicole, put me in tears instantly. Her response was, Olivia, I can no longer send you scripts. I can no longer be your doctor. I don't want to get in trouble with the medical board. And I don't know where this fear's coming from, because Ashan and the doctors that I have met up here have all said I need to stay with Elaine. And the last thing I was aware was that if I'm at least seeing all of yous within a 12-month period, then it's okay. And believe you me, I don't know what to do. So I sent her another message and I was like, Elaine, I'm so distressed. I was like, I will come to Melbourne. I will get there. I mean, I'm trying to organize it now so that, you know, if we come at the end of August, beginning of September, and that is why I'm going to be emailing you three, because I'm going to come to Melbourne for a week at least. And I'm
Do the face-to-faces
with all of yous.
Yeah. Okay.
So obviously I need all of you three to help me figure out when I can see you all at the same time.
Well, except, I mean, I'll make it work with them. I'll move people. It's fine.
I'm nervous. I'm stressed out, Nicole.
She doesn't have to.
I know she doesn't.
What did she say about the appointment on the 14th? Has she canceled it?
No. I said, please don't cancel the appointment. Please don't stop me from being your patient. I said, I've booked an appointment with Nicole. I will be sending emails through to all of you, but you'll all be on the same email, so you're all a part of it.
I think the 14th needs to happen. I think you need to have a conversation about what her concerns are.
Her concerns are the medical board. She literally wrote that she's concerned about getting in trouble with them.
For what?
You tell me, because I have zero idea. She's been sending me...
There's a bigger concern. It's not just that you live in Queensland.
Because I even said to her, I still have my house in Melbourne. I said, at $100 a week rent with the rentals crisis the way it is, I'm not giving that house up, right?
No.
And I've told my friend Juice to let his mate stay there for a while. Juice has been like trying to figure out a way to get rid of him and saying, you know, I'm going to say blah, 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 but I don't want you to have to feel like you're going to lie. And I was like, well, we all fucking know that's never going to happen. I don't lie. Words don't come out of my mouth that aren't fact. And so I said to him, you need to do exactly what I'm telling you to do, and I need him out immediately. And so he finally rang me yesterday, and I was like, you've obviously not seen any of the messages I've sent, because I'm asking you to get him out ASAP. So I've given him 4 weeks to be gone out of my home, right? and Juice was fine. He was like, it actually works out perfectly for him because, you know, I actually am keeping their house for a reason. But in saying that, surely to God, Elaine can keep my address as that address. I know you probably won't know all the ins and outs, but I just needed to talk to someone because you can imagine how I'm freaking out.
I think two things. One, I think Elaine has been a really steady support for you for a really long time, and I think she has been a really good doctor, and I really appreciate it.
She's the best doctor.
And no idea what the issue is. So it could be any number of things. It could be the videos. It could be...
Oh, well, she wouldn't mention the videos because there's no videos anymore. It's all phone. I don't do telehealth with her.
Could be the address. Could be this. We have to ask for what the problem is.
I know, which was why I needed to talk to you first.
Yeah, so when we do that, but then I think there's a separate issue. Olivia, I know that you have the house down here, but at the same time, you're up there. I also want you to get a doctor who's closer because the truth is when you have the snots or you have a weird rash or you have a something.
I understand all of that, but that's stuff I can deal with up here.
Also, we need another doctor. Yes. I have more than one doctor.
Yeah, that's not the point.
For that, and a doctor I go to for that. They happen to be in the same town. My dentist is an hour and a half from me.
Nicole, I don't know how to find a new doctor. I've met 3 so far, okay? One of them said something so completely and utterly deplorable, I still believe the man needs to be reported. And the only reason I haven't reported him is because every other doctor up here continues to gaslight me. And the worst part of it is, he was the only one who was actually like, I don't even care, I'll fucking prescribe you. But he was just... To tell me after he'd met me for less than 2 minutes that he'd put his life on the fact that I've been sexually abused and assaulted throughout my entire childhood, you can imagine how that's fucked up my head, yeah?
Yes. And strongly encourage the reporting because it needs...
So you agree? I've been waiting for someone to agree that this isn't in my imagination.
There's 2 things, like particularly with what's happening in Melbourne right now. I like it when doctors ask about historical traumas. I am a strong advocate for that. I really am.
To come to you, for example?
Huh?
As in doctors who can collaborate with the psychologist?
No,
or what do you mean?
I just want them to ask. I think there's a lot of things that have happened in people's lives that don't get discussed and that doctors don't ask questions about. And I think that that's just as dangerous. But in this instance, my biggest concern with what happened with that doctor is that he didn't ask you. He made assumptions about you and about your past, which, regardless of whether it's true or not true, in your case not, but could be.
No, in my case it is true. That's the thing. None of us have ever talked. I've never talked to you about how any of it.
But it's the way in which it was raised. We'll come back to that. The way in which it was raised makes you less likely to discuss it, less safe. It's not safe then. And a therapeutic relationship is one where it needs to be safe. It needs to be patient-led. It's about asking the question, and then if you have suspicions, you continue to ask the question over time.
He didn't ask the question.
It's not about saying this is what's definitely happened and this is my expectation and demand. It's further control of a very vulnerable, very traumatized human being.
His words were pretty much on the money, and it said something like, I would put my life on the fact that you've been sexually assaulted. Your body isn't what is broken. Your mind is broken, and we don't know if we'll ever be able to fix it. Yep. Imagine being told that by a doctor you knew for about a minute and a half. It has fucking destroyed me, Nicole.
Let's not go back to that. Let's not go back.
We're not. But you're saying find another doctor. I'm aware I need to find another doctor for all the bullshit in person. But the thing is, I dealt with Elaine a lot of the time on the... If I no longer get my medication that I know helps, which I 1000% do not abuse, because Merv wouldn't let me, even if I wanted to, and I wouldn't, because none of it works. People talk about these highs that they get from the medication I'm on. I'm like, well, that's bullshit.
This magical medication, your Tarjan.
Yes, Tarjan. If they take Tarjan off me, Nicole, I see my life going.
Well, let's find out what the issues are. So the email will do a couple of things. The email will put it out there and give Lee, what's her name? Elaine, sorry. Give Elaine a forum to send. I think the email needs to say something along the lines of, hey, I received your messages about this. I have some concerns about this. I haven't been able to locate a doctor with appropriate skill set here. Mm-hmm. They've redirected me back to you. I need ongoing prescriptions and management. Well, as we have via video phone for, an extended period of time. You raised some concerns about the medical board. Can I ask what your concerns are so that we can raise them here, and my other supports here can share opinions as needed, and also gives a witness to what's going on so that it keeps everybody a little bit accountable of what's happening. It makes Elaine like, we know there's a duty of care, and really it'll be about your psychiatrist saying, no, that's not really, because from a medical point of view, I can't tell her with the medical board because we don't have access to that information.
But the psychiatrist would.
Absolutely. And he can be like, that's not really cool. She needs this support. It's 12 months. If she's willing to do the in-person, has the Melbourne, you don't even need the Melbourne address. That's irrelevant. But as long as you're seen once a year in person, is that not appropriate? Like, what's her actual concern? But I am going to say that as a private practitioner, I assume she's private practitioner employed within a business, not
their private clinic.
By the clinic.
Yeah, their private clinic.
So that could be structured two ways. One, the private clinic could employ her as a salaried employee, in which case she may not have a say over who her clients are.
No, I'm pretty sure she does have that say based on all the conversations I've had.
If she's a contractor to them, like she has her own business employed, like that.
No, I'm absolutely positive she's employed by the company based on what I know.
There may be something there then that, you could ask for escalation or, whatever, if there is something, or an advocacy, if it's her management that are saying these are the concerns, trying to limit liability or whatever. But that's where your psychiatrist and I can get, primarily him, can get involved and say these are the things that are and aren't true. But at the end of the day, she does have the right to say she doesn't want to work with you anymore, and it may have something or nothing to do with you. It may have nothing to do with you.
I'm aware of all of this. All I'm thinking at the moment is, what the fuck do I do? Yes, because losing her as my doctor after a fucking decade of trying to find a doctor makes me want to ring my insurance, upgrade it, and go in hospital.
And also, I think that...
And I know that's extreme, but I can't function thinking about it. I'm sorry.
There's also, though, like if for whatever reason I became unwell or quit or whatever.
I know, then I would be even more screwed. Just dig my grave. Don't you like this when you have clients like me?
Cross my fingers that I'm fine right now, Olivia. Like, I hope
you're so young. You'll be doing this, please, until you're old, all right? I want the grey hair and everything.
I have the grey hair, you just can't see it.
Oh, I have so much grey hair. Every time I brush my hair, it gets all...
Because my hair's dark, like it's like a flashlight. Anyway, but I mean, if for whatever reason though something happened and I had to take a leave of absence or whatever, okay, there is an expectation though on me to assist you to find someone to support you.
That's what I thought. I need somebody's help. I am going to doctor up here, and they're all saying the same thing.
So I think it's also about saying to Elaine, if at the end of the day she says that's it, no, then it does come a question of,
why would she say no? I'm going to come down. Literally, we are in the process of getting everything sorted. We got the caravan man coming today. Everything is getting fixed. It's all getting done. Like, we can train to and from Brisbane for the appointments I need. But to come down to Melbourne, we can just bring we don't even need the caravan because we can drive in my car, bring the dogs with us, stay in my home down there. You know what I mean?
I don't know is the short answer, Olivia, but
I know you don't, but I feel
if
better
for whatever
talking to
reason,
you.
like the only thing I can think of is she's either scared of prescribing whatever for whatever reason, or something's happened to her. And I really hope it's not the latter, to be honest. But if for whatever reason that's happening, and the answer is no, whatever the reason is, then you say, okay, I need you to contact some GPs and I need you to find someone who's appropriate for me. I actually need some assistance to transfer my stuff. Because I actually have...
Even interstate?
Absolutely. Because you'd need your whole file. Like, you'd
Yeah.
have to do... They need your history. And an introductory letter is one thing, but you have an extensive history, and a conversation, doctor-to-doctor conversation, is something that is the most facilitating of anything. Like, I've worked in psychiatry for years and years, and sometimes I can only get so far, and then sometimes I have to say it's going to be doctor to doctor, and the doctors speak, and it changes everything.
If I can find a doctor up here who's as good as Elaine, who is willing to listen and hear and understand, because, like, I don't know how to prove to any of you, except for the fact that Merv can vouch for it, that yes, I get the medication because I need to have it, but you know what? It's not like I'm taking dozens of them a day. You know, I've never been high on any of my meds.
Not things that you need. Like, Elaine's been treating you for a really long time. There's never been a concern about that.
I know, but I'm genuinely concerned about new doctors. Like, you guys don't understand. It is fucking...
doctor-to-doctor conversation.
No, but in general, Nicole, what I'm saying is the entire health system up here is shocking. I literally burst into tears after I got off. Like, she was texting me yesterday, and I went out to Merv and said, I honest to God don't know what to do. I do not want to live back in Melbourne, but at the same time, I am so genuinely fucking concerned about how the state of my life is going to go without her.
I don't know that being back in Melbourne would change it if this is what's happening.
Yes, it would. Absolutely, it would.
No, there's something different. Like, I'm not this. You need to know what the real issue is.
Is it
before
because
we can address it? We have to know.
Can I just read to you what I've
written?
Yeah.
Yes.
I just put so I need to send a letter to all of you, and I am going to email like you all into it. Yeah. I'm just going to put, I haven't been able to find a doctor up here. They have recommended that I stay with Ishan, and Ishan has access to the medical board. Why is seeing her in person at least once in 12 months not acceptable to use phone appointments? What are your concerns regarding the medical board? If you are no longer able to see me, I need help finding a new doctor. Is it because...
And to facilitate a conversation about my treatment.
Is it because I'm not in Melbourne, or for another reason? And what did you say? To facilitate.
And you can say at a minimum, I think we need a doctor-to-doctor handover.
Thank you. I just feel like, you know, that feeling everything's going right and then something happens.
And it is still going right. We're still owning that. We're holding that.
That is true.
And and this, you know, Elaine, maybe it's enough.
There's nothing you can say that's going to upset her.
It's not going to upset her. Maybe it's another sign that you really did make the right decision going up there, Liv.
I have not thought about it like that.
Another step away, another connection there that's, you know, distance and connect.
This is why you can't retire. Yeah?
I'm in my 40s. Calm down.
Good. You look gorgeous.
Calm down.
I'll be 40 soon. I'm excited. I don't know why everyone gets so weird about it. I think getting older is awesome.
I got given I had a 40th and I got given vouchers. Hopefully no one ever knows this. And they expire after 3 years. Oops.
Oh God.
On like the day before one of them expired, I'm on like David Jones's website, like buying random hand creams and stuff.
Well, I will tell you that we went a little bit crazy with the end of financial year sales since our $20,000 deposit for a house didn't get needed. And so, do you want to hear the craziest ass things? Merv needed headphones, hearing aids, yeah? I don't know if I told you this, yeah? And the phone that he had was so old that they weren't compatible. So he literally had to buy another phone, right? And I've needed to buy another phone for years because mine just fall out of my fucking hand all the time, yeah?
I've seen it.
Constantly, yeah? Anyway, I'd been putting it off because of that reason. But when it turned out that Merv definitely needed another phone, I was like, fuck it, let's do this, yeah? And I was so lucky, Nicole. I went into my uni days and I still have an activated student discount until the 26th of Feb next year. So oh my God, listen to this. I have been looking at the Samsung S25 Plus, S25 Ultras, yeah?
Okay, that's a phone?
Yeah. It's a very fancy phone. I'll show you. It's going to be weird. Oh, you might get seen, actually. Do you mind if that happens?
No, it says my name.
They won't have seen that. That's just the phone. But yeah, so
You can't really see it. It's just blurry because it's got your screen on it.
Exactly. It's I got the with
I got the phone, the ES20 something.
with the discounts, right? Believe this, I got the S25 Ultra, which is worth $2,400. Yeah, on sale for the end of the financial year. The cheapest it was $1,917, right? And I got it for $1,562, right?
Wow.
I know, right? And that's the 512 gigabytes. And then Merv was able to get the Samsung S25 Plus again for like $1,300, so way
Plus
cheap.
just mean bigger, like
Yeah, more features and bigger. Yeah. But yeah, they are incredible. And so I also ordered myself wireless headphones, a 50-inch TV, a stand for the TV to put in my room. I bought a new dish rack, which is awesome. A muscle gun.
Like how you're like, I got a new phone and a new TV, but I really like my new dish rack.
Oh, I love my dish rack. It's awesome.
Dish rack.
Yeah, I love it.
Where do you say? Interesting, you say.
It makes washing dishes better. But yeah, so I've gotten so the phone, dish rack, TV stand, muscle gun, a massage gun. I went to get a massage and there's all these different spots that just need to be worked on. So I bought this fancy ass massage gun. It's so hard. I have to figure out how to use it properly.
You like hold it to your body. It's like a gun.
Yeah, but I did it too hard and it's got 8 different attachments. I think that's it, but people just...
Got some cool stuff.
Yeah, but I got it for such a fantastic price too, which is what's amazing. And even by the time I pay for this stuff on Saturday, because it works out, I'm sure you can appreciate paying one amount that covers indefinitely different sessions until it's fully gone is better than paying 6 sessions at a time and then, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, but other than that, it's all good. I hadn't thought about any of what you're saying when it comes to Elaine. So, I mean, I truly thought it was solely because of the fact that I'm not down there.
No, I mean, it could be. I mean, it could be.
But what makes you think it's not, though?
Uh,
Because you said it might have nothing to do with the fact that I'm not in Victoria, that even if I was in Victoria, she might stop being my doctor. And I don't know.
because she's been your doctor the whole time, and it feels like it's come out of nowhere. It feels like there's been a shift in her practice plan, and usually people only shift their practice plans when things shift in their lives.
Yeah,
I
I
just,
guess so.
and I don't know. And her health stuff's her stuff, and maybe she's like, well, I can't tell her it's because of
No,
like,
she would. I
God,
know her.
God forbid anything happens, but like, what? I can't tell her I have cancer.
She'd tell me on the.
Would she?
Yeah, she would. Yeah, she tells me everything. She's like you, so to speak. But yeah, no, she tells me all. I truly got the feeling it was simply about the fact that it was interstate. But like I said, obviously I've been going to the pharmacists and, you know. Oh,
Just,
and the
just see
only.
what happens. Send the email, ask the question, try to problem solve it. But
Yeah, it will be.
if she's really uncomfortable, then it won't change.
No, and in the
Whatever
meantime,
reason.
I'll get a shunt.
Something could happen. Maybe she's been asked about it. Maybe one of her other clients has had something. Often, like, it's this terrible statement, but like when a GP really pulls back on medications, it's usually post somebody's overdosed or something. There's been a critical incident, like there's been a problem.
And the
And she had to write a report or show up to coroners or whatever. And she's that process, whilst not a process of individual blame corners, for example. It's a systemic issue, but it's really hard, really stressful, and it really rattles people.
yeah, I fully understand all of that,
So
but
maybe it's something like that.
hmm?
Maybe it's something like that. She wouldn't tell you I had somebody else overdose or
No,
whatever.
probably not. I will.
Pills for that or
I'll just.
whatever.
I'll just finish up with the last thing I will tell you that you might find interesting. I've been dealing with extreme abdominal pain and gut issues for a very, very long time, but it's become increasingly worse. And I have a funny feeling that I am gluten intolerant.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
I don't
become.
know how they test for that.
Yeah, I've asked the doctor several times and he said stop eating gluten and see what happens. So,
I don't think that's it. I'm pretty sure there's a blood test of some description for
yeah,
celiac.
I thought that too. I don't know, but I'm going to make an appointment with a dietitian or nutritionist. I'm not sure which one I'm meant to see about getting an elimination diet set up. Because I'm a vegetarian, I need help to make sure I've got everything. But there is something making me incredibly ill, and my friend ate
Double
it.
check if with Elaine on whenever, I've forgotten when it was, um, if because I'm very sure that there's a blood test.
Yeah, I thought
There's
there
a way
was
to
too.
test for celiacs other than stop eating gluten.
Literally, I've spoken to this doctor twice about it, and I've asked for tests. I've asked for different things. I've asked for it all. I've asked for all the allergies, this, that, and everything else. And the answer I get is just don't eat gluten.
No,
So
that's
you can appreciate why I'm struggling.
Also, you threw in a little chestnut there about historical trauma. Do you want to talk about it, or should we not?
What do you
talk?
mean? Tell me what I said to make you say that.
You said that this doctor was all about, like, this is because you have childhood traumas and
Oh, his words were, I would put my life on the
brain
fact.
is broken, you might not be able
Yes.
to fix it. And you said, we have never talked about it, but it is true, but I don't want to talk about it. Is kind
Oh,
of
I
how
can talk to you about it. I know that I've been sexually assaulted. I've been, content warning, I've been raped, like, in my adult life that I have a very vivid memory of. I'm absolutely positive it's happened at least once before, in the sense of you can't give consent under certain ways.
Yeah.
I remember waking up one morning in a house, and it was apparent that I was covered in bruises and black and sore, and I took that as a rape. Those ones I'm aware of. The one with the multiple people where I woke up black and blue and everything, I have no memories of it, just the start and then the end. That part of it is a full blackout. But that doctor was talking about childhood trauma and sexual assault. And I know I've told you that I was in and out of foster care since the age of 3. But because I have siblings, 2 siblings, my sister and brother were always put into foster care by them together, and I was always put into foster care alone. And I've spoken to, I reckon, at least 3 or 4 psychiatrists and begged them to let me have my memories back through hypnotism, because I've always had the thought and the feeling of, how do you truly heal something you don't know? But it's in my core, but it's not in my conscious. Yeah. But yeah, no, I've been getting told since as long as I can remember about that. I remember being in hospital at the age of, I think, 8, and I bummed up my arm in a rollerblading accident. But for whatever reason, I was taken into hospital for the accident on the thing, but then a whole bunch of like social workers and doctors and everyone came, and then they were checking me for like sexual assault even at that point. And like, I'm highly aware that I've lived through it. Yeah. The stuff that I know within myself and the way that I am, I couldn't think or feel some of the stuff I do if I hadn't had it happen. It's just that I was told by a man who knew nothing about me that my brain was broken.
It was not raised in a way that it was safe to discuss it. It was not appropriate.
Like I said, I've never even discussed it with you. Like, I don't think about it. I know it's there. Every once in a while it enters my head, but it hasn't affected me, I guess, the way I sometimes wonder why. Like, I don't have all those. When it happened, I spent 10 months trying to figure out if it was rape, right? But considering I said no 100 fucking times and was crying, the answer was a yes, obviously. But yeah, no, we've never discussed it. I don't discuss it. You're the first person I've ever said out loud to, besides the one person I talked to at the time to help me clarify that I wasn't losing my mind. So when you get told by a doctor your brain is broken and you're always going to be broken, you can imagine how much that has added to my crap. Yep. But I'm okay. I feel better having talking to you, because it was just this instant feeling of, oh my God, what am I going to do? Because I am able to live this life. I'm good. I'm happy. I'm doing really well. I'm going to this meet and greet to meet ladies on Thursday night. It's this thing. We're going to a brewery, so I got to make some friends, and generally I'm feeling really good.
So because I have hold that, despite having things about your past that you've had to live through, or maybe in a lot of ways your body's protecting you from recalling all of it, but the ones that you do recall, you move forward in your life, and we can talk about it when it comes up. But right now also, I want to not detract from how exceptionally well you're doing, having moved forward from the past. You're not stuck there right now.
No, definitely not.
You're stuck in a worry now, but let's look at what is happening is that you're further establishing your life up there. You're further encouraging it. And I know Elean's an anxiety, but let's also look at it as we need something to be really working for you. And if it's not working for Elean, it's not working.
No, I know that, and I understand that.
Also need to let's move another thing, another connection there, because this is where your life is, Liv. This is what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. And I know I need a doctor. It's finding one that is going to help me. But you saying that I can at least talk to her, because it's leaving me to my own
If she's
devices.
willing to, yeah.
Yeah, because that's where I'm at. But I do
So
feel
let's
better.
go with that and see what she says, and ask for what you want. Just,
Yeah,
if it's about the distance, I'm happy to come down.
Oh, I will be coming down.
If it's not, then I need some assistance to look for something else.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I'm going to write that email now, but I am going to put you and a Shane on it, all right?
Yeah, of course.
And I'm hoping one of them will prescribe me the meds I need, because I literally am out. Do you know what I mean? And, like, yeah. But I have my next appointment with you. I think it's only a week from now.
Do you want to keep that or push it out?
No, I want to keep it, though. If I need to push it out, I will, but I'd kind of rather speak to you after I've done all of this.
It's on Tuesday, 15th at 10.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Tuesday next week.
Yeah, that sounds perfect. I shall be here.
I will too.
Always good speaking to you. Thank you so much.
Marvin, get happy.
I sure will, and thank you for fitting me in so soon.
I don't know where happy is right now, but I've been very good for a whole hour not asking. But
yeah, she's so big now.
Ask for happy, please. Thank you.
I will. All right, darling.
I'll see you soon.
Bye, hon. Bye. So, that was interesting. I can tell by looking at my camera that it is so much clearer. You can see my messy hair. These short little things, they won't stay up. Soon. Doesn't look bad when I do it like that, does it? Hey? But this lovely tattoo, it looks better in there than it does here. Yeah, it looks dull as fuck here. But anyway, this is where we're at. This is what I'm doing. It's now 12 minutes past 12. And I have so fucking much to do. So I'm going to upload this. I'm going to email the doctors. And please pray for me that I get my scripts. Cheers for coming along. Talk later. Bye.